Darren, I'm from Movie Reviews 101, and today, as promised, we are going to do a watched list of 2018. So this will be the first 10 films I have seen this year. They're not going to be full reviews, it's going to be a bit of an open discussion. There may be reviews on this, and I may be telling you why I've reviewed certain films for certain projects on the website. So the first film I watched in 2018 is brought in Cell Block 99. Now I have done a video review on this, I've done a written review. I like to seem to start the year with violent bloody movies, and this was delightful. So I'm happy to recommend this movie for something you would have missed in 2017, as something you need to check out for 2018. Number 2 for the year is Glengarry Glen Ross. This is the star-studded movie. Al Pacino, Jack Lemmon, Alec Baldwin, Ed Harris, Kevin Spacey. Can't talk about him though. Alan Arkin, and even Jonathan Pryce. It's a fantastic cast for that era of the cinema. It just follows some real estate people who have got to sort of show their business, and whether they're in or not when something goes wrong. It's a brilliant performance piece. This is part of my Oscar season that I'm going to be covering in a couple of months on the websites. Number 3 is Circle. Circle is the Netflix movie which follows 50 random people who are put into a big circle, if you want, and every 2 minutes somebody gets killed and they have to figure out who is worthy of surviving. And this movie is a real tense social study about how you do it. There's people from every background, every age you can imagine, and it's a lot of talking about what could happen, what people will do. It is a very interesting thriller. If you want to see something that makes you think and tick, what would you do, this is going to be one for you. Number 4 is In the Name of the Father. This is a Daniel Day-Lewis movie from 1993. I want to say 3, maybe. And it follows an Irish guy who gets accused of being an IRA terrorist in England and gets locked up in jail. And we follow the court case to try and get him freed because he never had anything to do with it. And we see his life and his time in jail after his father also gets put in jail for apparently being part of it as well. You know, Daniel Day-Lewis, as I said, Peter Postlethwaite and Emma Thompson, star-studded, beautiful. This is another one of my Oscar movies I'm going to be focusing on. Next up is Suffragette. This is the movie set in the early 1900s, which follows women trying to get the equal right to vote, being treated equally. It's got a great cast: Carey Mulligan, Helena Bonham Carter, Meryl Streep. And it is an interesting look at a moment in time that should never have been an issue in the moments of history. It should never have been put up to question. It should have been something that was set in stone from the beginning of time of all of this stuff, and how hard these women fought for this right, all the different things they had to go through. I highly recommend this if you want to learn a moment of history that changed everything people would know. Number 6 is Broken City, starring Russell Crowe and Mark Wahlberg, as we follow a formerly disgraced cop turned PI who has to work for the mayor, and then there's a lot of stuff going on. It's a bit of a conspiracy thriller. We have Catherine Zeta-Jones, Jeffrey Wright, quite a nice little cast. This doesn't really live up to all of the hype. It's fine. This is going to fit nicely into my little Russell Crowe weekend in a few months' time. Number 7 is a nice little indie movie I got to see called Drive-In While Black. And this follows a young black American living in LA, Hollywood area, who has had his whole life harassed by police, even though he's never actually done anything that illegal or ever. When he gets pulled over, it started on bikes, it turns into cars, and it's how he deals with this and how the cops seem to profile him and how he has dealt with trying to avoid this altercation. It does work really well. It's set more of a comedy. There isn't a violent side to it. It's more how he is getting victimised, but how he doesn't react, which makes it difficult for the police to react. But it also has the different levels of police who can profile him as a troublemaker. But there is also another little moment in it right at the end. It's brilliant and shows why they did do things, why the police do things they do. But it could have been a one-off time. I think it's one that's really clever. It's one to really try and check out once it gets released on video on demand. Number 8 for the month was House of Salem. This is a horror movie that follows a group of kidnappers who kidnap a young boy and want to get a ransom. The only problem is the house they've gone to is slightly haunted and everything just goes tits up for them. It's a clever little horror movie, but it's the kidnapping genre on a bit of a twist. No real notable names. The only name I truly recognised in this movie was Andrew Lee Potts, so if you're English you know him from Primeval, even though he did make a slight appearance in the Canadian one nobody watched. If you want a nice little horror movie, this is tidy, it works, has a few good scares, good special effects, good makeup effects, and a clever story that could go a long way. Number 9 is Coco. Coco is the latest Pixar movie, and it follows a young boy named Miguel who wants to become a musician. But his family has forbid him from ever becoming a musician, and when he tries to chase his dream one day he ends up in the land of the dead, and he must fight for a way to return to the living, and he only has one night to do it. Good comical moments, real tear-jerking conclusion, as all Pixar movies want to do to us. They want to make us try and cry. Yes, this will do all of that and has some good catchy numbers because that's what Pixar do well. I would be recommending this as well. It was one of the last animated movies I saw, and I think it's one that may have been in the top 2 of last year. And the final film of my first 10 of the year is, well, I may not pronounce this right, but it is Earth-tastrophe. Yes, it is a sci-fi action disaster movie. So you know what? It's bonkers and silly, it's fun. Sometimes you just need something a bit bonkers and silly, and this does it. The story goes where the moon has turned into a wormhole and Earth has been sucked through the wormhole to another galaxy, but not everybody is there, and they got to figure a way to get back or stop it happening. And there's disastrous weather and suns and moons, and yeah, you get the idea. This is a bonkersly over the top movie, but it's fun. It's fun. You can watch these and just go, yeah, that's silly. I like that. But anyway, that is my first 10 of the year. They have actually all been a lot of fun, these movies, in their own way. We have so many strengths, a few different genres being tackled as well, a few that I don't usually take on, which is comedy too much and animation. But hell, we had fun. Did you have fun? Have you seen any of these 10 movies? If you have, let me know which is the best and which is the worst. And until we can find another 10 movies to watch, we'll be back next time. So, thank you for watching and get watching.